Hi, I'm Luke. Today on Auto Darts, I am going to do a quick review of the X-Shot Ninja line. Now, X-Shot reached out to me a little while ago, along with a bunch of other YouTubers, about reviewing some of their newer blasters. And I like X-Shot because we don't have a lot of blaster companies out there. When it really comes down to it, Hasbro, Nerf, owns the vast majority of the market share, and for us as modders, as players, as Nerf lovers, and foam lovers, we really want to see more competition. So seeing X-Shot diversify their line and make more blasters and reskin blasters is something that's really cool to me. I'm also super excited about their next line, which is a competitor to the rival blasters, and I will definitely be featuring those on the channel when I get my hands on them. I have seen them popping up on Reddit and on Instagram, so I know they are coming soon. So this series was a reskin of previous blasters by Zuru for the X-Shot line. And this is a reskin for Ninja. Ninja is, I believe, the #2 streamer on Twitch for Fortnite, though I think he's been moving around a little bit, so I'm not totally sure about that. That was a while ago when I actually looked. There are 5 blasters I've been sent here: the Justice, Turbo Strike, the Quick Scope, the No Res, and the Stealth. Each of these are sort of a one-off production run. I don't think they're being produced again after this, so it is sort of a limited thing. They're available, I believe, on Amazon and other sellers online, and directly from Zuru's website. So I figure we would just dive into these. I'm new to X-Shot in general. I don't know their blasters very well, so I thought it'd be fun to just go through them let's go from least powerful to most powerful. These are all Springer blasters, so they're all relatively simple operation, and they're mostly similar to some of their Hasbro counterpoints with some different design aesthetics. So first off, let's start with, these are Scotch titanium scissors. Someone's gonna write shots fired in the comments. This is the X-Shot Stealth, which is obviously a, can I say it's just a Jolt? I mean, kind of a Jolt. It's it's actually a little different because the plunger tube is in line, and it is smaller than a Jolt, which is kind of cool. The weird thing about this blaster, and this is actually one of the only ones I've touched before this because my cousin has got the old version of this, but the blaster is really tiny, obviously, and the darts don't enter the blaster completely, so it has this sort of funky look of the dart sticking halfway out. Now, that being said, this whole line, from what I've seen so far, performs better than most of the Hasbro counterpoints. You know, using the old shoot at a wall technique, that hit pretty hard. Hopefully some of you are getting that. It's like the days before chronographs. So this is like a really fun little blaster. It's obviously kind of a Jolt replacement, but it is super tiny. I don't think I would actually play with this in a real game, but it'd be fun like around here in the office. It does come with a little dog tag like this entire series, which is kind of a nice touch for those of you that follow Ninja. Next up, we got the No Res. I remember being a kid and just packaging frustrated me to no end. You always had to like find an adult with a proper knife or scissors. So this is the No Res. This is a revolver. It is 4 shots. It sort of feels like a mini strong arm, which is not a bad thing because it's actually, that's kind of sweet. As far as holstering that, it seems like that would be pretty easy to holster. This blaster, their shells generally have a pretty interesting style. This is clearly meant for kids. It doesn't fit my adult hand, but I do like the sort of compact size, and I am kind of curious. Now, these do go in all the way, so they have full depth as far as the chamber there on the cylinder. One of the things I'm liking right off the bat is that it seems like all of these blasters, I could be wrong, but it seems like all of these blasters come with more darts than they shoot. You know, your typical Hasbro blaster would give you 4 darts for a 4-dart blaster. Here we got 8, so it's sort of like the double your darts. But I do like that because it's so cheap to add 4 more darts to the package. You know, that shoots a lot better than a strong arm. So aside from being only 4 shots instead of 6, that's a pretty sweet little blaster. I might actually have to play around with that a little bit, given that it would probably holster really well and really easily and shove in a pocket. Let's go to the next more interesting blaster. The Quick Scope is going to be next. This blaster features a stock and a scope, and it's a pump action sort of sniper blaster. So we will liberate this. Oh, it's got this peg thing again. So I'm going to learn now. X-Shot blasters have pegs. There's like this, why? I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Anybody that's opened this is probably laughing at me because I'm probably doing something wrong, but I'm an adult and packaging just still frustrates me. So this blaster comes with some fun little fake injection molded plastic cans, so you can presumably set these up and shoot those over. That's actually kind of fun. I would have done that as a kid for sure. Now I have a few other targets. So there are these pegs. They use this retention peg, and now I'm clearly understanding. You rip it out and they thread in. So I've just never seen. Huh, quite interesting. So obviously we've got removable scope here, pump action, and this is of course just a single shot, but with a sort of barrel breach mechanic, except it's barrel breach, but unfortunately that's not the action. So this is all for novelty. The actual priming is done by this lever, or by this priming handle here. Now this again seems pretty generous. You're getting 12 darts. That's a lot more. 12 darts for a one-shot blaster. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good value, especially considering these blasters are all priced a little lower than the Hasbro counterpoints. But so it's a little disappointing. I looked at this and I was like, oh, it's going to be like a sledge fire, and it's not. So this action doesn't do anything. It's just kind of for novelty, and then when you close it up, then you have to prime it, fire it, break the barrel, load. It's kind of a fun action, but yeah, it's kind of fun. Next blaster is the one I'm most excited about. We've got the Turbo Strike. The Turbo Strike also comes with these target cans, which I think is pretty cool. This is clearly okay, that just made me really excited. I finally figured out what the pegs are for, and I'm sure someone has been watching this video just saying, out of darts, you're foolish. The pegs, if you just pull hard, it comes right out. It's literally like my dream as a kid, but... So the Turbo Strike has got a rotating barrel that moves freely. It's a front loader, so I could see this totally being decent for Humans vs. Zombies, assuming that it actually performs well. Dart-wise, this, again, comes with, it's like a extra promo, so it comes with more darts than, looks like twice the darts that you actually need to fill the blaster, which is pretty cool. These darts seem pretty decent. They're kind of a different flathead tip. I'd be curious how they fire out of other blasters. I know they will not go through some barrels properly because of the fatter head. The action is just like a hammer shot, so you've got a simple prime and shoot. It kind of feels a little bit like the Super Drum, except the capacity is a little bit lower, but the profile is also a lot better. The grip is a little small for my hands, but it feels good other than this rear part here, so I think that I might personally pull this and change that up a little bit. We get slam fire, which is welcomed because a lot of the off-brand or other competing brands don't have that. Let's see how fast I can actually ring through these. Not bad. Kind of difficult with the slide being on the back, keeping it accurate. You've got a little pop-up sight, which has a cute little button. Oh, I would have loved that if I was 10. I think these are all really fun blasters so far. Being that they're front loaders, they're great for new players. I will bring these to my family reunion this summer and let people play with them there because they seem to perform really well, and because they're front loaders, makes them really easy for players to just top up and play. A lot easier than handing players who don't do Nerf stuff all the time magazines and making them carry and load those. This is probably my favorite so far because it's clearly the most effective out of the blasters thus far. Moving on. This is the X-Shot Ninja Justice. Now, this is a reskin of another blaster they did, and it's clearly their response to the Modulus. The 1,000 combos up here is just simple math, all the different variations that you could mix and match here multiplied together. Simple numbers. Oh, Zuru, this is so cool. What an interesting way to package. So, not everything, but some of the parts just have these holes which retain them on the pegboard here. So the Justice is a little bit like the Modulus in that it comes with a huge number of accessories for different combos and building out your blaster. So you've got different muzzles you can throw on, there's a sight, multiple sights, one that sort of mimics a red dot, which I can only assume I have that backwards. Well, a real red dot would look about like that, so it must be like that. It is a clip-fed blaster. Let's see if I can guess on operation. Okay, simple enough. I'm not a huge fan of this style, mainly because of the profile. You end up with this clip sticking off the sides, and just like the Hasbro equivalents, I'm not a huge fan of them just because they always seem to get in the way. I constantly come around a tree or something like this, and I'm always doing this sort of thing. So that makes it a little tough to play. They've got their own stock attachment point, so you can attach a variety of stocks. There is a bipod, which we could attach to the front. I think it's time to pull a coupe here. How many things can I put on at the same time? Does that go on the end? No, that should go on the end. Does that go? Oh my gosh, yes it does. No? Yes. I'm like following the guide on the picture. They've got Ninja here, who I'm sure was actively holding this when he did this. But he's showing off how many things you can put together. I'm just going to build this as... I don't know how this works. Okay. We're going to build this up to as ridiculous as it can. So, as much as I don't like the add-on stuff, I do remember being a kid, and the more things that you could put on stuff, the better, even if it was impractical. So this probably would have been about my favorite thing ever as a kid. It does have what looks like a magazine holder in the back here. Nope. Yes. Nope. So there's only one orientation that fits. You have 4 options. I tried them all. You've also got holes for presumably darts here, but that's the monstrosity in full form. And that is probably not the most war practical. I think if I played with it, I would strip it down to, you know, as little as possible. Probably just go with that. Overall, I think this line is really fun. By far, my favorite is the Turbo Strike. It's fast and easy to load, the performance is great, and it's reasonably compact in its shape and feel. I think these will be really fun blasters to play with my cousins and stuff, so we should have some fun with that, and you should see them in future videos. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm out of darts.